What is happening on Minnesota Vikings Man 28? And I was gonna film my thoughts at after the game at night, but I was too tired, so I'm doing it this morning. So Vikings lose 38-31. It was disappointing, but at least we did better yesterday than we did against the Bills, so that's a good thing. So let's go over it. This was a shootout of a game. I mean, a literal shootout. And once I recognized we're going into a shootout, I wasn't sure if the Vikings could keep up. I mean, Vikings, of course, we found out they couldn't keep up at the end, but you know, if you were told me this before the season uh, began, that Vikings were gonna be somewhat competitive, being competitive in a shootout, I would have said no way. But they were competitive until the very end, and well, you actually could say they were back and forth with the Rams since they did have the ball on the final drive. They just offensive line just decided to you know bl- disintegrate. Let's go with that. So yeah, let's go over the stats. So Kirk Cousins went 36 of 50 for 422 yards and three touchdowns. Um, he looked very good. He threw the ball. I mean, he threw the ball um, accurately. He had to throw a lot of quick passes, but that is okay. Got the first downs that we needed. 50 attempts. I mean, that's a lot of attempts, especially when you see that Jared Goff only had 33 attempts. But of course, they have Todd Gurley. Kirk Cousins was also our leading rusher with 28 yards on only 4 attempts, while Cook had 20 yards on 10 attempts. So our running game is looking very bad right now. We really need to fix that quick. Um, Receiving, as always, we got Adam Thielen, Stephon Diggs. I mean, some of the best receivers. Adam Thielen had 8 receptions for 135 and one touchdown. I mean, amazing touchdown after he got angry because he had to go off the sideline check for concussion protocol, but he rebounded. Um, Diggs 11 catches, 123, also looking amazing, and Rudolph 5 for 57 yards, and then the other two touchdowns were by Robinson. Now, I was not really expecting this. Aldrick Robinson, 2 for 33 for two touchdowns. I was not expecting him, to play that much. I mean, I didn't really know who he was till not too long ago. Maybe right before the game, but he's turned out to be good, and especially with Treadwell missed catches. Um, he could be the number 3 receiver. I'm just saying he could, but I'm not sure yet. So there's that. Of course, the fumble by Kirk Cousins. That was bad. I'm gonna say that is somewhat on him because he didn't step up in the pocket, and if he would have just stepped up a little bit, he wouldn't have fumbled the ball. Dan Bailey, Mr. Automatic. I mean, he almost wasn't automatic because his first kick went off the post and like, oh no, but but it went in, went off the post and in. So he was perfect on field goals, as long as field goal was 40 yards. Pretty proud of him. I'm hoping to see a 50-yard field goal attempt from him just to see how far he can go. He was 2-2 on extra points. Defense. Let's see how many sacks we got. One sack. And that is by Danielle Hunter. He was the only bright spot in this game. Everyone else was just bad. I mean, you could say Mike Hughes. He did have a forced fumble, but it was covered by the Rams. So yeah, I would say Danielle Hunter and then Mike Hughes, and then everyone else was just terrible. We held Gurley under 100 yards of rushing. I don't know how I feel about that, but because he also caught four catches for 73 yards and a touchdown, and one of those catches went for 56 yards. So, oh yeah, it's okay, okay. So let's go. We're scoring some real quick. Robinson with the 16-yard touchdown, then followed up by a Gurley 8-yard touchdown pass, 7-7 at the end of the first quarter. Then second quarter, Dan Bailey 37-yard field goal. That was the off the post and in, so 10-7 Minnesota. Then a Cooper Kupp 70-yard touchdown from Jared Goff, 14-10 Rams. I also want to mention that on that play, Trey Williams was out after that play, so that's something else we need to look at. Then Allen Robinson gets another touchdown, 17-yard touchdown pass from Cousins to Robinson. Those are now 17-14. Yeah, 17-14. Then Cooper Kupp with a 19-yard touchdown pass. We got 21. No, wait. Haven't. 28. No, yeah, 21. And then Cooks with 47-yard touchdown pass, 28-17. And then Dan Bailey, field goal, 28-20 at halftime. Shootout of a game. I think on the drive where we got the field goal, went for it on fourth downs. So, I mean, good job by DeFilippo. He set the game more aggressive. Second half was definitely not as much scoring, so got a little bit more defensive. Field goal by Rams, 31-20. Then Adam Thielen with a great touchdown. And then two-point conversion where Cousins throws to Murray, 28-31. Then Woods, 31-yard catch for him, 38-28. And then the field goal by Bailey. His longest of the day went 40 yards, so 38-31. And of course, we know the end of the game. We stop the Rams, get the ball back in the 2-minute drill. We start going down the field, and then Reef doesn't know how to block, and lets I don't even know who stripped it out of his hands. I think it was Donald. But yeah, and then the Rams recovered, and that was the end of the game. But overall, I think we did a much better job, and we're gonna do much better next week against the Philadelphia Eagles. So yeah, this has been Minnesota Vikings Man 28, and as always, Skull.